All right, guys, the next part of the training is where we talk about the Fire online profile funnel and Fire portfolio. And this is important because even though you're going to be applying to a few job boards that we're going to show you later, you have to make sure that perception is everything. So the perception that employers see about you is going to be everything of you. Doesn't matter if you're the best person ever at Google Ads or you're the best at sales. Doesn't really matter. If they perceive something wrong, they're most likely not going to go about it and not going to go for you. So if you, for example, also do the video wrong, they're going to have some hesitation. If you do your resume wrong, they're going to have a little bit of hesitation. Like, not necessarily wrong, but like you don't really put effort into it. The same thing for your online profile. Whatever it is that you put into your profile for whatever job board that you're going into, you're going to have a kick-ass one. I'm going to show you here a few examples. So let's talk about that online profile funnel and Fire portfolio. All right. So let's go over a few of them. All right. Let me just go here. All right. So let's go to the most important ones. I'm going to go LinkedIn at the end, but you probably know about LinkedIn, but we're going to cover it. But let's talk about LinkedIn. So if you have LinkedIn where you have a cover and ultimately a very appealing picture, I just changed my picture, by the way, and it has that background. You can actually use canva.com to do everything that you need for your LinkedIn profile and everything else. All right. Like everything that you need, Canva, you're going to be able to do it in Canva. So for example, here, this one is a Canva banner by one of our interns. And you can actually look for it in a Canva LinkedIn banner, for example. You can click on it and it will start essentially creating or have presets, templates that you can use so that you can look at this professionally and you can edit it however you want. Okay. You want to make sure that you have a great headline. So if you specialize in something, let's say you're a sales savage, you're a media buying savage, you do create Google Ads, Facebook Ads, make sure that you put some of that hook that we talked about, the things that you've been able to accomplish. So what do you do? How can, what problems do you solve? So what do you do? What do you do for others? And some sort of credibility, potentially with numbers. So right now, that's why I say that I help real estate investors and wholesalers grow their business by finding motivated sellers, getting them under contract, and adding minimum 2 to 5 contracts per month while streamlining their processes and systems. Well, I help X to do Y, and I have achieved Z, right? So I help X to do Y, and I achieved Z, right? Super simple formula. You want to make sure it's optimized as much as possible because some employers will look you up. Okay, so make sure that you have a LinkedIn profile. If you haven't created a LinkedIn profile, create it. Okay, make sure that you have that. All right, cool. Make sure that you don't need to post and stuff. I post a lot. Make sure that you have a really good about. You're going to use ChatGPT in order to help you with it. But for example, I have this retired auto engineer with specialization in this. So you can always highlight the best things on the top. I worked on this and I was able to do this amazing thing, right? I was able to help clients or our previous companies that I work with and so on, and do a little bit of a combination of personal things as well here. So that people actually know that you're actually a human being. You get to portray as this exceptional human being, A player, but also make sure that you also have a combination of human details, right? Okay. Experience, ensure that you actually put all the companies that you work with in here with as much detail as possible, but it's actionable, very understandable, valuable detail. If you need help from ChatGPT, might as well do it, right? Okay. So I have all of this. This is the jobs that I've had. As you can see, it's very detailed, and I use point forms. Point forms is everything. If you do like big chunks of text, like people are not going to see those kind of stuff. And people have a better time, and the experience of them reading what it's going through by bullet points is much easier for them. So make sure that you have bullet points. Make sure that you also include your studies in here. All right. Why is LinkedIn important ultimately? Because a lot of job boards can actually connect with LinkedIn right away. Let me just explain that. A lot of job boards connect with LinkedIn, which extracts the information. So instead of you having to upload everything to the job board and having to take so much time on uploading stuff one by one. You do everything LinkedIn, and it just extracts the information. Kind of like whenever you build a resume, and some job boards just extract the information from the resume or the CV, and just like you can fill out by itself, and they just have to do a little bit of tweaks. It's basically that. Okay. All right. So this is another thing. Put every project that you've had, extracurricular stuff that you've done, and ensure also that you put the skills that you have acquired. Okay. And this goes to every job board or any candidate board. Okay. This is another huge thing, guys. This part is huge, where we talk about the testimonials basically that you have, case studies, recommendations. So the more recommendations, the more testimonials, the more case studies that you have, which is ultimately your credibility, the proof that you were great. Just by asking people that you work with or your bosses or so on that give you recommendations, and you fill this up with a lot of recommendations, the perception that you're going to be given and the perception that you're going to gain from employers is going to be best, right? Remember, you have to market yourself. You have to market yourself in order to actually get a job. And put whatever courses, languages that you've had, make sure that you fully optimize this. Here's another example. This is my dad was able to do this as well. Put it here, create like a logo for him. You don't have to get fancy, but you see 20 plus years in quality management in the pharmaceutical and food beverage industry. He's very professional and so on. Very professional type of picture. Make sure that you have a professional picture, not like me wearing this hat, right? The about, I have a point form in the about and so on. The experience and stuff like that. He worked in Coca-Cola. He was able to do, a bunch of different things, right? Okay, cool. Let's go to the other ones. Who's gonna guess what's next? Well, it's gonna be social media and the job boards. So let's go to social media, guys. Social media is also everything. Employers look at that as well. So let's take a look at Facebook. So Facebook, similarly, you can do things in Canva here and, have your profile, really, really solid profile, where you can ultimately put in your bio that you do something for people. So for example, you can say, I help X to do Y, right? And I have achieved Z, right? So very simple formula. And ensure that you have as much content in here that connects to your sites, your links, your Instagram, your Facebook, your YouTube, you have a YouTube channel. And the post that you have, make sure that at least the one that is pinned in the very top is something clever, something that makes sense, something that adds value. It could be you and everything, but and have a decent picture, guys. I'm not no one to tell you how to handle your social media. My social media, it's just proven credibility that I'm like I am the one who I am. And for example, I have another profile right in here. It's kind of the same. I got locked out of this one, but anyways, this one I say real estate investing. I help you get X, right? And I have a bunch of different positions that I put in here because I optimize this. So this is called the profile funnel. Let me just go and tell you about this. So basically, employers are going to see your social media, your LinkedIn, your job board, and it's going to be, you're going to funnel them, right? So you're going to funnel them because you're going to have to sell yourself before you sell yourself in the interview because you got to market yourself properly. And that's what's going to drive the conversations, the proper conversations. And who knows, maybe other employers will look at your profile well and also potentially consider you for another role. Who knows? I'm here for you guys to win. I don't care if you guys do it through us or not. As long as you guys are prepared to win, have a job, have a career where you're happy, make money, I'm happy about that. Okay. So I don't care if you use these techniques to get hired to another agency. The goal here is to help as many people here as possible. Okay. All right. Let's go back to this. And my profile is just full, like you see this one is pinned. It's like full of credibility. Like I am a credibility animal. Here, I was able to create a few highlights. I'm going to go over that on Instagram where I have more credibility, like especially testimonials, things that people have said about us and about me real well and so on. So client wins, I was able to create this with Canva, who's talking about us, like the podcast, the press, and so on, and clever posts and stuff like that. I keep it very professional in my Facebook as well. Okay. All right. Let's go over. I'm going to give you an example here. For example, Kia. He looks like a regular human being, right? And he says inbound lead gen specialist, personal trainer, nutrition coach, uncle. He shows that he's a human being, right? Enrollment advisor at our company. Here, this one is a pen post of credibility, right? Credibility post that we are winning and that we're doing, that we are who we say we are, right? So he has clever posts and everything, and make sure that he shows like a regular human being. Okay. Cool. All right. So let's go to Instagram. So I pinned a few ones that I really liked. I'm going to tell you the structure here. So let's go first to my Instagram, for instance. So let's take a look at my Instagram estimate. All right. So my Instagram, how does this look like? So let's take a look at this. Let's just screenshot this right in here. We're going to have the right profile picture, right? We're going to have a message that basically gets to ultimately get attention. No, it says that we do something for people. Now, if you want to do your Instagram like this, you can definitely do it in order to attract employers. But if you're, for example, freelancer or something like that, that also helps a lot. But if you have recommendations or positive stuff, you can put in the highlights. So for example, here we have testimonials, we have client wins and things like that. I also have my education and my journey. So I show that I'm a regular human being, my education, things like that. And I have, professional pin posts. And for example, in the client wins, it's just literally screenshots of my recommendations, people recommending us basically. So if I click on this, it'll be just a real, bunch of stories of recommendations. Right now it's not loading. Give me one sec. The screenshot. You could screenshot your recommendations from LinkedIn. Okay. Screenshot wins. Screenshot more wins and wins. Testimonial videos that you can put out here. Okay. All of these guys is going to help you build a solid profile funnel. So you're going to start having great conversations. You don't have to do that content as being like, that's just a little bit too much. But here, she has this one right here. She has great stuff. Look, she tells about what she does, what value she provides, right? What's her field, and so on. And ultimately, she has a calendar that people can book. She has services. She talks about her and testimonials, and she has great pictures, right? So I actually am wondering how these testimonials look like from her. Let's take a look at this one. There you go, screenshots, stuff that she's been able to do for previous employers, or maybe as a freelancer, right? Just pretty great. Couldn't hurt. Let's see the other ones. This one, all right. Again, she's a virtual assistant. So she helps soulful solopreneurs build thriving businesses through podcast management. All right. She has services and clients and so on. Now, I'm not here to tell you guys how to be a freelancer. I'm telling you guys how to get a career or job. But all of this is ultimately marketing that you do for yourself, guys. Okay. Now let's go into the job board real quick and how to create your profile in the job boards. So let's go through tryremotelaatinos.com. So in here, there's going to be, if you click and get help, you're going to be able to know a few more things on how to go about this. But you want to also create your great profile. Here's a bunch of jobs. Make sure that you create your great profile by clicking profile. And you can import your LinkedIn. Now, this is going to change. It's going to be a little bit different. And this imports by itself, right? So you see? If not, you'll have to build this properly. And in Get Help, there's great help for it. Okay, and make sure that you ultimately find, because there's going to be companies that are going to be looking at you, and you're going to have to apply for jobs. Let me show you how a few people that ultimately are in this job board actually look like. So let me go here, and ultimately, all right. Let's take a look at Luigi. So Luigi, empowering efficiency and excellence, virtual assistant, intake specialist, seeks dynamic opportunity. Experience, intake specialist, family law, business development, intake. So he puts all his profile in here, ultimately with the video. We talked about the video in previous training. Team lead at the American Express. He puts short summaries in here, which should be like maybe point forms and so on, just to make it better. He talks about his skills, he can sell himself in here a little bit more, his salary rate that he's looking for, and so on, and what other things he can do pretty well. Okay, so that's Luigi. Great picture, good on him. Make sure that you create great profiles. Use canva.com. It's free, and let me know how it goes. Okay, awesome.